I'm getting sick and tired of the mainstream political parties undermining our local elections and making every single vote about national issues. In this video, we are exposing the Labour Party. You wonder why people are not interested in local politics, you wonder why their turnout is low, or they don't even get involved with community meetings or like the council and votes and everything else. Well, it's because the mainstream political parties are using the council elections as a political ladder. So you have all these young activists, they become candidates and some of them accidentally become young councillors, and they simply are using it to become the next MP. They don't really care about their local areas. And those who care, they do not get challenged over policy because not many people get involved. It's because the mainstream media and the political parties don't want you to get involved with local politics. They'd rather if you just listen to the national narrative. This is the perfect example of lies, absolute lies that parties are giving you, including Keir Starmer's Labour Party. So they made this video and they tweeted it. Keir Starmer said, "Vote Labour on Thursday, 4th of May, for an NHS that treats patients on time again." Really? How? How can a councillor do that? How can a council do that? You've got the actual centralised NHS, and then you decided to decentralise it by having NHS trusts, regional NHS trusts. None of them are accountable. None of them can be changed. And you are saying, even if you get into power, the Labour Party and the Tory Party have been in power for decades. When was the last time the NHS was efficient, apart from the first 2 years? Because it was supposed to be a safety net, not for the billionaires and millionaires to use it. And this is the issue that we have. So let's go to this video before I lose my mind.
This is simulated, so this talks to this mannequin, and that's exactly what they can see and feel. It's just projected up onto the screen for educational purposes. So
our message to the NHS would be that we'll get round the table, but also the cavalry is coming, we will fix the longer term problems. Under a Labour government, we'll have an NHS fit for the future.
That's just nonsense. Both you, as political parties, have done nothing because the system is broken. So do not give empty promises again. Secondly, it's local elections, not the general election. But people are not stupid. People are waking up. People are reacting to this video that was posted on social media. First things first, I'm so glad Elon Musk is now in control of Twitter. Twitter are actually doing proper fact-checking, not the fake news disinformation fact-checking. So Twitter actually posted this underneath the video saying, well, the elections being held on the 4th of May 2023 are local council elections. Local councils are not responsible for the NHS, which is funded and run by the national government of each country within the United Kingdom. So thank you, Elon Musk, for clarifying the situation for people on Twitter. But then we also had normal people up and down the country looking at that video, getting frustrated because they are now realizing what's going on. For decades, everybody was listening to the national media narrative. And unless you had to become independent minded and actually do your own research, a lot of people were falling for it. But thanks to the rise of new media, channels like this and many others, we are spreading the word. We are exposing the truth. So we had comments like this under the video. Number one, these are local elections. The NHS is managed in Westminster. Number two, you want to expand the use of private provision in the NHS? Completely against your leadership pledges. That's also a very good point. Number three, considering you reneged on every other pledge as well, why should anybody actually even believe anything that you say? That is also a very good point from Evolve Politics on Twitter. Now, we had so many people responding to this. They're saying the same things basically. So the local councils run the NHS, do they? We had another one saying, these are local elections, Keith. We had another one called Peter saying, can you explain how voting in the council elections will affect the NHS? And Mark said, how will my local councillors change the NHS? And why aren't Labour councillors already improving the NHS? That's also a good point. There are so many local councils right now in the country run and controlled by the Labour Party. And the NHS in those areas are absolutely terrible. Why can't the Labour councillors and those Labour councils sort it out? Oh, is it because you don't actually have the power? Is it because the NHS is not even being run by the Department of Health in central government? It's run by NHS England in England, and of course in Scotland and Wales and other places. Because even the Secretary of State for Health is not in charge of the NHS. You've got the actual executive, the head of NHS. They're not even listening to the department. The whole system is messed up. And these politicians keep using it as a political tool every single year. Getting sick and tired. Now let's take a quick break. We're going to come back in half an hour. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.